Hi, I'm Amber and I'm a self-taught crafter. I do everything from crochet, knitting, Cricut vinyl, basket weaving, and I've recently picked up sewing. Being a self-taught crafter and now a self-taught sewist, everything that I've learned has come from experimentation and other people's YouTube tutorials. I don't have any mentors or anybody to walk me through anything. So it's also in my nature to create my own stuff and do my own thing and not follow a pattern. I've done a few projects since getting my sewing machine and they've all been just kind of a measure cut, so pray and cross your fingers that it turns out good. Even when I sewed and donated 1,000 masks, there's tons of resources out there for those on how to make a mask. And what did I do? Took little bits and pieces of each one, mushed them together into my own kind of pattern, which was easier to sew, more efficient on time and materials, and just did my own thing. But the masks still turned out great and people loved wearing them, so I call that a win. Admittedly, part of the motivation behind getting a sewing machine was to sew my own clothes. There's tons of patterns out there, but what I really wanted to do was cosplay clothing because I'm huge into sci-fi and fantasy books, and it's one of my bucket list items to go to Comic-Con, whether it's San Diego or even just a local one. One of these days I'm going to create my own clothes, and I started looking for resources to help me do this because I just started sewing. I don't know how to read a pattern. Everything I learn is on YouTube, and there isn't going to be a step-by-step tutorial on how to create a Vin from Mistborn mist cloak, so therefore I need to do this myself. While scouring the internet for a one-stop shop for clothing design and creation knowledge, I stumbled across the Fashionpedia from Fashionary.org. So with a book called Fashionpedia, you'd expect it to have some degree of knowledge and information about clothing design. And to say that it does is an understatement. Now, going into what's in the book. This has everything you never knew you needed to know about clothes, textiles, patterns, manufacturing, beauty. I mean, it's so jam-packed full of knowledge. You know, you can start off with the different kinds of clothes and suits. They have underwear styles, but then it'll even go into accessories, the kinds of watches and faces, wallets, rings, everything you didn't need to know about fashion. There is so much in here. It breaks down fabrics, things like that, laces that you can make on machine. There is so many things in here that it breaks down and explains, and I'm so happy because I can literally just draw a figure, page through this, and start designing clothes because starting with a shirt, okay, what style shirt do you want? This one. Well, then you can flip over to the collars and the different kinds of sleeves and bottom finishing and what kind of darts you want to put into it. And you can literally piece together whatever kind of clothing that you want just by using the pictures in this book and the explanations. It is absolutely amazing. There's no way that I think I could really create the kind of things that I want to create in my head without being able to see them on this paper first. So it just expanded my creativity levels by 1,000 because I had no idea some of these things were even possible. Now, obviously, because this book was so good, I had to see what other kinds of things Fashionary.org offered. And since I am not an artist, I am a crafter, not an artist, I can't draw. So taking these ideas and putting them onto paper and then eventually draping them onto my forms, that whole drawing and planning step was just kind of a question mark at this point. While browsing, I found this fashion poses illustrations. It's got 100 cards in it for poses that you can draw. So whether it is kind of just a basic pattern of somebody, so this is like a plus size, just basic stance. You can either draw it by looking at it, personally, I traced it because, again, not an artist, I'm a crafter. And with 100 cards, you're getting, 100 different kind of poses and different things like that. And it's really cool because they're a mirror image on the other side. So here she's got one hand up, and then on the other side, it's her other hand. So I started doing that with one of the cosplay characters that I wanted to do. And as you can see, I've got her in 3 different poses. I've only started drawing the basic one because I'm not an artist and I'm not sure how I'm going to make the fabrics flow yet, and I did not want to put my atrocious artwork on YouTube at this point until I had some practice and knew what it was going to look like. So just using these cards and tracing them, I can draw clothes around them to create the character that I want to make. Having just learned to sew, I still feel like I'm a small fish in the large Fashionary.org pond, but for anybody who is already creating clothing or even shoes, they have resources for shoes and purse creation. There's so much information that you can find on Fashionary.org. They have a whole handbook dedicated to creating your own business as well, which I'm definitely not at that point. I would imagine that given the quality of the Fashionpedia book, that the marketing book is also very, very good for anybody who is interested in taking their creativity to the next level. Now again, this has been a genuine review of the Fashionpedia book. I have not been paid, nor have these materials been sent to me for free. I stumbled upon them. They have no reason to send me free materials because frankly, I haven't even made any clothes yet. So I really feel like the Fashionpedia book is an amazing resource for anybody who wants to create their own clothing. Thank you for stopping by my channel. If you want to see my future creations, hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching.